point in relation to you say about the customers at the centre in your opening statement. I've got to say that doesn't bear out my recent experience, I've got to say, with Bus Eireann. I'm sorry to say that. And the only way I can test your commitment to putting the customer at the centre is from the complaints I get from people, and I am having an ongoing daily complaints from people who are left behind in relation to the service that's been provided in a number of places in Kildare. When I talked to the National Transportation Authority about this, who were the only ones that would take a call from me, I have failed for the last 3 weeks to have even a call back from somebody from Bus Eireann, which is absolutely unacceptable. And if I can't get a call back and customers are trying, the service is erratic in spots, and a double-decker bus is now a single-decker bus, and there's not the capacity on it and all the rest of it, and people are at risk of losing their jobs. We're at that point. This is going on now for weeks. And this is, when I talked to the National Transportation Authority, they told me that there was an industrial relations issue, that there would be penalties for non-compliance, but that happens quarterly in arrears. So you've got people putting up with this erratic service for 3 months. Now, if there's an industrial relations issue, it behoves the bus company to come out and tell people that, to put them on alert, not to have a situation where they go out with, looking at a timetable and expecting the bus to turn up, and then when it does turn up, it passes them by because there's a capacity issue. There's a very serious issue right across the East Coast. You need to come out very publicly and say just exactly what's happening and what you're doing about it, because you are going to lose customers, and you're certainly losing reputation in relation to this, and it certainly doesn't bear out what you said at the beginning. And I've got to say that I even went to the Minister on 2 occasions and asked him to see if he could get me somebody that would give me a call back to tell me just exactly what's going on, so as I could pass information. Even that hasn't worked. So I just don't know. He seems to be impregnable at this stage, and there's no public relations aspect to it. So you really need to deal with that, because it's one of the areas where there's very, well-used routes that are going to be compromised. I just want to go on to a number of other questions, and I would want you to.
It's helpful. Could they undertake to provide, just on that point, provide a special email, a Oireachtas address? Other state bodies do that you can correspond directly on a dedicated email address if you have an Oireachtas query. That would be helpful, I think.
Deputy, obviously I'm disappointed that either you or your constituents in Kildare are experiencing difficulties. We have had difficulties. It would not be correct to say we have an industrial relations issue. What we do have is the implementation of a very significant change plan within the organisation. As I said, there are up to 60 individual items of the Labour Court recommendation that are implemented. And the high level of absenteeism, I said up to 14%, is creating a situation where we do not have on a daily basis the drivers to drive the services. Now, what we're doing there as a consequence of that is hiring in other transport on a contract basis. But unfortunately, some of the vehicles that are available do not have the same capacity as our own vehicles, and therefore that does create some of the issues you have. I do believe we actually have been public in advising people that is the case. I'm certainly disappointed if you're encountering any difficulties with getting communication back, and I will address that directly to you, and we will resolve that there is a contact line for you specifically to contact and to get information on particular issues.
Yeah, I can give you the dates because we've been keeping a note of them. So it's, you know.
Absolutely. I'm not doubting what you're saying to me.
Having said that, I would rather people, if they were ringing themselves, were able to get information.
Well, we do have a customer service. That's why I'm a bit surprised that we actually have a fully functioning customer service unit. It logs every call, every complaint, and so on. So that mechanism is there and available. But certainly, as the chairman has suggested, I'm quite happy that we provide a direct service from members of the Oireachtas so that they should be able to get replies to issues that they have concerns about.
Do you envisage a resolution to this issue?
I absolutely do.
How quickly?
The difficulty about saying this is, as I said to you, we had no service issues at all yesterday. And that's the first time in a number of months that's been the case. But the difficulty about saying that is hostage to fortune. I say that to you today, and then tomorrow, you know, we have some failure of service. But certainly, it would appear to us that it is improving, and the dialogue that's happening with the employee representatives means that we are gaining confidence that those issues are being resolved.
I'll hopefully get that line. I'll be monitoring that myself. Well, my constituents monitor it for me.
Okay, I will have somebody contact you, Deputy,
right,
and provide whatever facilities are necessary to ensure that the information is free-flowing.
Okay, can I just go on a number of other issues then?